In the 1960s, during a time of social change and scientific discoveries, one of the most famous and dramatic psychological experiments in history began at Stanford University in the USA. This experiment, called the Stanford Prison Experiment, was a study of human behavior in the context of an artificial prison. Phil Zimbardo, a scientist and psychologist, created the experiment to study how a prison environment affects the behavior of ordinary people. The participants, all students, were divided into two groups: guards, who were consciously aware of their role as prison guards, and prisoners. From the very beginning, in the corridors of the improvised basement prison, participants were immersed in an atmosphere of strict regime and control. The guards received special instructions on maintaining order and discipline, while the prisoners were stripped of their individuality and given numbers instead of names. Originally, the experiment was planned to last for 2 weeks. However, it quickly became apparent that the situation was getting out of control. The guards began to display aggressive behavior and cruelty, humiliating and punishing the prisoners. The prisoners, in turn, became helpless and desperate. Such a radical change in behavior was shocking not only for the participants but also for the researchers themselves. Zimbardo realized that the experiment was causing serious harm to the participants' psychology, and on the 6th day, he decided to end it prematurely. The whole world learned about the terrible consequences of this experiment, which became a symbol of the potential cruelty inherent in each of us. The results of the Stanford Prison Experiment raised many questions and discussions about the moral and ethical aspects of such research. The most important conclusion was that people, under certain conditions, can commit immoral acts, even if they consider themselves normal and good. Since then, scientists and psychologists have become much more cautious in their experiments, paying more attention to the possible consequences for the mental health of participants and observing ethical standards. The Stanford Prison Experiment remains one of the most illustrative and discussed examples in the history of psychology. It continues to generate interest among researchers, educators, and the public, reminding us of the importance of respecting human rights and ethical standards in scientific research. It also serves as a reminder that people can be susceptible to corruption and cruelty when placed in certain social conditions, and that it is important to remain vigilant and conscious in our behavior and interactions with others. Don't forget to push like and subscribe.